Hey, John.
Hey, Diane.
Thank you for being here. I wanted to ask you first, and I know you're going to talk about your experiences and working with me as your coach. But what first tell everybody who you are and what you do.
Sure. I'm John Ferneborg. I've been recruiting going on almost 30 years. I started in the business in 1994. We're coming up to 2024, so coming up on 30 years. Hard to believe. But I've been an executive recruiter. I've worked internally at Google X, Roblox, some really big companies, and now I've started a firm called TalentGroove, focused on really next gen technologies. And I'm working with a lot of early stage founders.
So, John, you're a total OG in this industry, and I know you've done executive search as well as you said as internal. And so, why hire me?
Great question. Diana, it's so important to continually learn and push yourself. But more importantly, I think, as we have our own perceptions and perspectives, it's looking at the other side of the coin. And you've had incredible experience building recruiting businesses. And I was a managing partner of that search firm. We had a wonderful business, but we never capitalized on it. I kind of spun that out so that my dad had something to retire and work in. This time around, I want to grow Talent Group. I want this to be something that is helping companies pull in some of the best and brightest talent uh, to do good for the world. And in that, I want Talent Group to be a company that people look to for recruiting solutions and grow it. So you and your experience are just applicable and wonderful to work with, helping us navigate and go in that direction.
Thanks, John. And what stage would you describe your that you're at Talent Group?
Yeah, we're in the foundational stage. We have some great clients. We're doing fantastic. We put in the sort of the systems and software and architecture to enable us to do some great things for our clients, client portals, making sure that there's transparency. They can see what's going on in the process, because I've learned things over the years. And really my time at Google X, when I was managing our AI and quantum recruiting team, as well as our PhD residency team. And when I was running that residency, we had about 78 different managers that we had to report to. I'd sit down and I'd probably have 3 or 4 people within 10 minutes coming up and knocking on my, hey, how are we doing on this project? What's going on with this candidate? And I couldn't focus. I couldn't stay active. And it's no different than today when you're getting emails and you're getting DMs from clients. So I created a portal back at X, and it transformed my capabilities and my enjoyment of working, because they had their answer. And anytime they came up to me, I'd be like, go to the portal, it has everything you're looking for. My conversation would be over in 30 seconds and they were happy. So I want that same thing for my clients today. And so it does take a little bit of technology, it takes a little bit of money up front, but well worth it.
Cool. And what do you when and so you invested in yourself in
Yes.
coaching. So how do you make the decision of if you're going to invest in yourself or not?
Yeah. Is it something, am I learning something that I am familiar with that feels good? I don't want to do that, right?
Mhm.
You don't want to keep practicing the same habits that you've been doing. I believe in continually updating your own data, to kind of use a technical philosophy. And it's so important to get outside perspectives. And like I said, you have done this before. You've built multiple recruiting firms, and you've looked at recruiting from a different perspective than I have. I've been executive search, I've been internal recruiting, I've been PhD recruiting, and you've done some contingent recruiting, you've done some other avenues that I haven't explored before. And I wanted to learn from that. I wanted to, what did you figure out that worked well in your business that I might be able to apply in mine? And so I think just having a different perspective, a little bit of tension, which we don't have, but you know what I mean. Just having a different bit of a look at the same sort of coin of recruiting. It doesn't matter what side you're on. It's what you need. It's what you need to grow, and you've been a wonderful partner in that sense.
And what would you say? Thank you. What would you say that that you've gotten out of the program?
Oh gosh. First and foremost, you've been a great sounding board. I've had some ideas. Sometimes I can be a little bit out there and, getting off track. I probably have ADHD, probably like 2/3 of recruiters out there, just, so much going on. You have to be a little bit. And you have a great way of bringing me and focusing me in and asking, the right questions. Is this important for you right now? Is this going to be an amplifier to your business? Spending so much time in this direction, what are you trying to get out of it? And just by being that sounding board, yeah, I've learned to shut off a few things. I've learned to sort of focus and dial it in. And so yeah, it's been a wonderful partnership. Also, you're quite creative, and your approach on outreach, and your approach on potentially how to reach out to different companies and attract them for business is spot on. And yeah, 20 years of practicing one way doesn't mean you have it right. That's why I wanted your perspective to be able to break up some of those habits and try new things.
So if you could use one word to describe our work together, what would it be?
Partnership. I don't know if that's the best word, but it's maybe I should say open partnership. We've had such a realistic dialogue, and there's no ego involved in any of our conversations. We've been so actually a better word probably collaborative. We've been so good about just sort of passing ideas back and forth and exploring each other. And you've come at it from a coaching mentality, and I've taken courses in leadership coaching as well, and I've really appreciated your style and approach. It's thought provoking.
So are you excited about in the next 12 months, and how can people find you?
Yeah, I'm excited. I think the market's going to pick up. I'm very tapped into a lot of businesses, a lot of HR recruiting leaders. I'm pretty well connected with the venture community. We are coming into a political year that tends to slow down business just a little bit. But in the case that we've been so slow, you can't get any slower than the market's been. I do predict in the next probably quarter or two, we are going to see an uptick, especially if you're in and around technology. It's been soft for the last couple of years. OpenAI, for example, I'm just going to throw this out. OpenAI, just released 5 recruiting manager roles. I think that there's going to be an AI war for talent. I think that's going to be an interesting thing to watch, participate in. There's a lot of people that are jumping into that sector that I'm just going to say it, probably aren't qualified to be there. But they're excited about the technologies, and you can learn anything pretty quickly. What else am I excited about? I'm excited about getting to a point of consistency, better understanding what the market wants from me and TalentGroove. The market dictates your business. It's going to dictate what it wants from you, and I believe that you have to have open ears, a lot of feelers out there. You almost like throwing fishing lines over the boat to see what's going to get bit. And yeah, I think technology is going to pick up. So that's my opinion, but the market will dictate that.
And how do people find you?
They can go to talentgroove.com. We created the business with that name, thought it would be a little bit fun. It's focused on talent, but we're very serious. We are, there's 4 of us, 4 partners that all of us have over 20 years experience in recruiting, leadership recruiting, working with large corporations, running programs. And we not only do we do the recruiting, but we also will come in and we can work with your team if you currently have a talent acquisition team, help put in some processes, train some recruiters if you need it. I do work with some founders like you of recruiting firms, giving some advice and just sort of doing it on an hourly basis. So I love anything recruiting. I'm a second generation recruiter, believe it or not. My dad was in recruiting. He got brought in when he was 34 years old. And then when I came out of college, I joined his firm. So I've been at this a long time, love the field, love recruiting.
All right. Thanks, John.
My pleasure. Great to talk with you, Diane.